Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Diabolical Snake Invasion 4-pack. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. That said, this is a fan channel exclusive brought to us by, of course, the fine folks over at Mattel, as well as the fine folks over at Big and Bad Toy Store. And this set came out around the same time as the Skeleton Warriors, but unlike the Skeleton Warriors, not nearly as exciting. There's not a whole lot new going on here other than colorways, because this is the definition of cheap repainted crap. Like, this is literally a $65 box set full of repaints, and the moron speaking to you right now totally got suckered into buying it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but, you know, I like the snake dudes. I don't know what it is, but I think it's got something to do with this cobra-headed dude towards the end there. So, with that being said, to keep this review as short as possible, I'm going to do comparisons while we take a look at each figure. We're going to go from left to right and do things that way, just to try and keep things short and sweet. Probably fail miserably in the process, but hey, you're the fool who clicked on the video, so this is partially your fault. So, taking a closer look at the Snake Armor He-Man. In the way of his accessories, he comes with this power sword, which is nice and shiny. You can sheath it into his back here, like so. And then he also comes with this serpent claw, or titty twister, I don't know. And that plugs into the little gauntlet on his wrist here. So you just kind of slip it in, and that's pretty much it. That's what she said. But as far as this figure goes, I do actually have the original version from a few waves ago in the Origins main line. Shout out to my good buddy Evil Villain for hooking this up, because I missed this guy, and he is not really easy to find nowadays. So thankfully, the good buddy Evil Villain preferred the 4-pack version to this, so he was kind enough to let me have this for a vintage Ninja Turtle, I believe, that I didn't know I still had. I thought I sent him all mine. That said, you know, it's the same figure. This one's got some black elements replacing the silver elements on this one, and I think he has some light green in places, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I would have liked to have seen a Snake He-Man. That would have been kind of cool. Like, if they made him green and stuff and gave him, like, the reptile eyes, that would have been kind of cool. I would have considered leaving this version out, but as it stands, this is probably going to be the version that goes into storage, and the OG version is the one I'm going to leave out on display, because for those of you not in the know, this is a 2000X variant, so something for your boy. That is very, 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 very hard to come by and very expensive on the secondary market. As far as original 2000X figures go, the original Snake Armor He-Man goes for like $200 to $300 carded on good old Evil Bay nowadays, and is one of the only 2000X figures to have elbow joints like this guy. Not so much with the rotation, but just the bend. The only other one that I can think of that has elbow joints like that is the original Stratos from the 2000X line. So, little food for thought there. But as far as articulation goes, we'll go over it on He-Man here, because he is pretty much brand new. We've never looked at this mold on the channel before. But he's got an up and down in the head, tilt side to side, rotation. Kind of a clicky head there. Shoulders go out to the side, back down, forward and back. Swivel at the elbow with a hinge. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. And looking at this skirt piece, this does not appear to be the same skirt piece as the Skeleton Warrior guys. So I guess they did have something else new there, but I didn't know at the time. They're not perfect. Come on, man. Give me a break. That said, the shoulder pauldron here is connected to the torso armor. And then this gauntlet piece is a separate piece, a la, Man-at-Arms. But it doesn't slide off nearly as easy as that figure, so that's a plus. He does have a waist cut. However, it works fine. His legs can kick out to the side, as much as that skirt piece will allow. He does have forward and back, as far as that skirt will allow. Also, he's got a swivel at the knee. He's got these knee pads, but that's not part of the boot like the 2000X Skeletor. And I kind of wish 2000X Skeletor had something similar to this, because the boot cut is underneath this, and that really works. Like that. You don't have to worry about that knee pad kind of flaring out and looking weird when you rotate the boot. But on the 2000X Skeletor and Fangor, actually, he has the same calves. You do have to be mindful of that. That said, he does have a hinge in the knee, as well as a hinge in the foot with a rocker. So that's your lot for Snake Armor He-Man as far as this set is concerned. Pretty solid, he's alright. But I do prefer the original colorway, just because that's what he looked like in 2000X. So taking a look at this guy, Cobra Khan with a Rattler head number 1. One of them's name is Gorgon, I think, and the other one's name is Naga. And one of them is the Spy of King Hiss, and the other one is it the Snake Master or something? I don't know. They got really, really generic, cornball, stupid, goofy names, and then really kind of pointless and ridiculous ranks. Because technically, isn't Cobra Khan the spy for King Hiss because he infiltrated the ranks of Skeletor and helped overthrow him and whatnot? I mean, isn't that what a spy is? That said, we do have good old Cobra Khan here for comparison, which this figure took me forever to get. I got Rattler back in the spring, and we'll bring him out when we look at this crazy Camo Khan mashup here. But this guy took all freaking summer for me to get. And I finally got him. I'm happy with him. But yeah, he took a hot minute for me to get. That said, other than the Rattler head, it is the same figure as Cobra Khan from the neck down. Right down to the little spikes on the forearms there. And these guys, unfortunately, they don't come with weapons. The two generic Snake dudes. But if you have the Snake Infiltrator, he comes with two. One of them is a snake staff with schmutz on the handle where they hold on to it that, chunks off and looks kind of gross. That said, you put it in the hand, you turn it a bit, you don't even notice it. So I guess that's fine. But, I'd like to get snake staffs that don't have a big chunk missing on them or have some big flash I gotta chip off so I can get it in the hand, right? That's not fun. But you can give them this. If you get two Infiltrators, you'll have two of these. So at some point, I do plan on doing that because I did turn my Infiltrator into a Snake Man-at-Arms because for some reason we didn't get one of those in this line. Or a Snake Mechaneck, which I would have much rather have gotten over these two generic Snake dudes. And I would have rather have gotten, who's that other guy? Nepthu? The Snake Nepthu? That would have been kind of cool. But that's the generic Snake dude number 1. I'm not sure if it's Gorgon or Naga. I think the red one's Gorgon and the green one's Naga, if I'm not mistaken. But now we have the most interesting figure out of the whole set. Next to the Snake Armor He-Man, if you don't have him, that is. And that is Rattle Hood. Not Robin Hood, not to be confused with the Disney movie with the fox and the bear and all that. But Rattle Hood. He is a mashup of this guy right here, Rattler, and Camo Khan, based off the head sculpt there. And if you shake him, a cucaracha, climbing up the freaking wall. You can have a fiesta. Was that racially insensitive? I don't know. Probably. We'll find out if this video gets taken down the next 24 hours. But, why the heck did I do that? But Rattle Hood, on top of being, you know, reuse of Rattler, of course has the CamoCon head. But also, shout out to Jeremy DeWitt from the My Wife's Gonna Kill Me podcast. He pointed out that this is a Snake Man completely done up in Skeletor colors. So the blues and the purples, and the blues and the purples and the color of the snake staff, they all go together and make it look like Skeletor. Wow, I'm really trying to get canceled in this video, aren't I? They look like Skeletor. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, other than maybe the face, so I guess more like Keldor, but that said, the back of his head feels kind of funky. Like there's some freaking rough spots where it came out the mold, but that's not terrible. And his snake staff, unlike the one I just showed, actually doesn't have a big old chunk missing out of it. But you could put this in his hand. Like so. Give him that. One thing he also comes with is the Cobra Khan spit effect, which you can plug into his pie hole here. Just gonna line it up right. Now he does not come with a alternate head. I will say that. He doesn't come with like the regular Cobra Khan head. Which, you know, it is what it is. I would have liked that head on one of these other snake dudes, but you would have essentially just got a camo con at that point, especially if they put it on the green one. But there you go. It's kind of red, kind of fiery looking, maybe a bit pink, but there's that. I don't use these typically. Effect pieces are just not something I'm a big fan of, but I do like having them for photos. That said, if we rip off his noggin here, he does also come with the Rattler neck extension, which you can plug right on and make him a whole lot taller than the rest of the figures in this set. That said, you do gotta find a sweet spot, make sure it ain't flopping all over the place, but I could do that off cam, that's no big deal. But there you go. Here's Rattle Hood. He rattles, he's got a rubbery tail. I really wish they did what they did with Whiplash with Rattler and this guy, and gave them the plastic articulated tails. I think that would have been a lot better. You know, just to be able to articulate it and whatnot. That and the rubber tails seem a little long. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And Rattle Hood's head is off screen. Alright. You know, he might actually be the same height as Spawn and Brother Mandibulith now. That said, the final figure in the set is generic green Snake Man. I gotta tell you, of the two, I like the red one the most. I think he's cooler. But this guy, if you missed out on CamoCon and you have an extra Cobra Khan head, you could easily repaint this and turn him into that. Just about. But again, he is the same body mold as Cobra Khan here, just with a Rattler head. Nothing crazy going on there. So, yeah, man. That's pretty much it for the Diabolical Snake Invasion 4-pack. It is cheap repaints to the T. There's no other way to spin that. But you know what? For the price of $65 after tax, I think, these guys only cost $16 a piece, which is almost $5 cheaper than a standard Origins figure. And considering the fact that you do technically get two of them that come with enough accessories to qualify as a standard Origins figure, you know, maybe say that those are $20 a piece and then these other two are less, you're not getting a bad deal, really. This is a solid offering for the price point, so I can't knock it for that. What I can say, though, is that we need to pan the camera up a bit so we can get Rattle Hood's head. Try saying that 5 times fast. Rattle Hood's head, Rattle Hood's head, Rattle Hood's head, Rattle Hood's head, Rattle Hood's head. Okay, I just did it, but it's not the point. On screen. But the point being, if you like Origins and you want to have a few more Snake Men, this is a good set. That said, just block the generic Snake dudes with these two. There's Brother Mandibulus. And there's Spawn blocking the generic Snake dudes, because the figures I care more about are the Snake Armor He-Man and the Rattle Hood. So, with all that being said, since we are not going to be moving on to comparisons, because we kind of already did that, it's time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and at the end of the day, there's really not a whole heck of a lot to say in regards to the Diabolical Snake Invasion here, other than if you like cheap repainted crap, this is 110% the set for you. It's got all of that in spades, although, not to toot my own horn, but I think I did a pretty darn good job setting these guys up. If I could sell some cheap repainted crap like this, imagine if it was something, you know, a little bit more unique, as they say. That said, for the price point, I think you're getting a pretty solid deal. You get two fleshed out, basic, mind you, Origins figures in the Snake Armor He-Man and the Rattle Hood. And then as a bonus, you get a couple of other Snake Men to boot. So, if you want it, I think it's still available. So go ahead and pick it up. If not, pass on it and leave it for somebody else. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.